Hello everyone, this is for the people that follow my stream and my YouTube channel. I'm not going to advertise this video at all because I only want it to be for you guys, and basically it's just how I think you can easily win on this patch before people catch up to it. So I think people are behind the meta because it's a new meta, they're behind on what's really good, and I've used that to quickly get 200 LP today on the NA server and Challenger, and hopefully it can help you guys win some games. So let's go through it quickly, I don't want the video to be too long. So the starting lineup that I want to go for is Knights Nobles. As you can see here, I have 2 Knights and I have 4 Nobles in total, but it's only 3. So what you want to aim for is Darius, Garen, then Lucian. Those are the 3 main core. And then you want to see if you can get Fiora or Vayne. It doesn't matter which one of these 2 you have. Now, regarding the items, I want to go for a Warmox as the number 1 item. It's the first item you want to aim for. Try and get the Warmox. It's not very sought out after, so if you can get it, it's super important. If you can, let's say you don't get any chain, or let's say you don't get any belts, it's going to be difficult. Then a second item that's extremely good is Lucian's Echo. I think this is the second best one because it gives you a tremendous amount of damage on Lucian. It's by far one of the best things to win streak. And one really important thing with Nobles is you want to win early, so these items are core. Now, you can also make a static ship. I have this over here. It works. I generally don't want to put it on Vayne, but if I have to, I will do it. It's like, don't do this unless you have to, but if you get the perfect items for a static ship, you get the Vayne, still a Fiora, you know what, you can play it, it's fine. It's not bad, but it's not optimal. Alright, so this is the starting position. You want to aim for these 3, and then one of those 2. The items you want to aim for Warmox, then Ludens, then Thornmail. If you can get that in the early game, you're going to dominate people. Now, let's go to the second sheet we have over here. I prepared all of it first. The second one, here we have Tristana in. This is the next 2 units we want to get in, Tristana and Kayle. Again, you can swap in Vayne for Fiora, it's not really important. Poppy could be Darius, and then if you swap those 2, you also swap all the items onto the Poppy. You want this person to be a carrier. It's very important you don't put these items on Garen, for example, because it's a carrier. It's supposed to be item temporarily, and then you sell it later on. Now, regarding the items, it's still the same thing. You want to aim for these items. You can go other items. For example, you can do Harsh. Grinzo is not good, I think, until late game. Same with Spear is not good until late game. Morello. So you want to wait for those. You want to aim for these items. Right, let's go into the next sheet. This is the next transition you want to do. You want to aim for Leona. Potentially Braum. You don't need Braum. But Braum is extremely good for you to win the late mid game, I'd say. So you put in the Braum. You smash up Darius so he becomes super powerful. With these buffs as well, it's almost unkillable. You still have a ton of damage from the backline. The positioning, don't pay attention to that. This is just so it's clear that these are the core units. And this is the transition possibility, right? So Darius is better than Poppy because he's cheaper. But you can't get Darius, Poppy is fine. Lucian is obviously better than Fiora and Vayne. But if you really can't get Lucian for whatever reason, you could pop in a Vayne. You could pop in something else. You can change it up a little bit. Now, what you want to look to do here is you want to get Jinx instead of Tristana. So you want to swap these 2 around. That's very important. And the Braum you can add in to be stronger at this part of the game. You don't need to. Maybe you don't get the units. Maybe you never buy Braum. But it's just, let's say you find him. You want to be strong at all times. You buy him. You put him in. This is the strongest you can have unless you get the full Noble buff. Alright, let's move on. The last slide we have here. This is the full build where... Wait, I don't know why I have this item. This item's really bad. Let's just fix a new Jinx in there. Alright, so we have similar items. So the main thing you want to do is... You want Leona to be the Warmox carrier, right, at the end game. She's incredible tanky with Nobles. She already got base armor, which is incredibly high. Her ultimate is pretty good as well. It stuns everyone, so when she takes a lot of damage, she brings a lot of CC to the game. She can stun up to like 4 or 5 times in one game, so it's pretty easy. She reflects a ton of damage due to the insane amount of armor she have. So if you're against 80 heroes, they might actually just kill themselves hitting her. And she's obviously healing because she's a Noble. She's healing because she got Warmox. And even if somebody goes red buff against you, I still think this is fine to do. I played this a ton in Challenger. I was against red buffs every single game. I think about roughly half the teams had red buff or Morello. Maybe a little bit more than that, and it still worked out just fine. Lucian, again, you want to have this Lucian's Echo if you can get it early. If you can't, you don't need to have it, but it's super good to win streak. It's one of the best early game items, especially on Lucian. Or Ahri for that sake. But you want to try and get it early. Then... The things you want to look at here, this is the comp you want to have. The last unit you want to put in is going to be a Yasuo, most likely. Or you're going to make Jinx a Blade Master. It doesn't really matter which one of these 2 you do. But that's if you're level 9, you put in a Yasuo, right? or if you have a Force of Nature. But generally, I wouldn't recommend getting Force of Nature. I'd rather just have strong items, because I think items are super valuable, and I'm not a big fan of Force of Nature. So the options you have at this point, let's say you have these 3 items. Unrealistic, you probably have a little bit worse items. You're not always getting perfect, but you want to try and get these 2. This is super important. This one, way less important. Now, you could make Jinx a Blade Master. You can stack Jinx and make her carry. You can put Hush on Kayle, Lucian, or Jinx, depending who you want. Even Vayne, it doesn't matter. The thing is just you want to split out your, you want to split out your items so you don't stack too much, unless you're actually just stacking one unit with everything. Because if an item like Hush, it doesn't really need attack speed. You have enough of it already. So you're always going to proc it most of the time. It'll be fine. And therefore, by not stacking it on units, you can remove the other person's hex tag. Imagine you have a stack Jinx with 3 items, and then you have Hush and Vayne. Enemy hex tag hits Vayne, bam, now you're going to destroy him with Jinx and Leona. So it's pretty important to spread out your items right now, after hex tag got introduced. I know another thing I forgot to mention. This is decent. You could do Morello on Leona late game, if they have healing and stuff, because he spams her ultimate all the time, unless he gets hex tagged and dies really fast. She should be able to get a lot of ultimates off, hit Morello often, hit a lot of important units. It's a pretty decent item. You could also make Magic Cyst, Dragon Claw, or whatever, make it super tanky. There's a lot of different options there, but I would recommend going Morello over Red Buff if you need anti-healing. Because Leona is going to hit a lot of people, and Red Buff is only going to hit one person. It's kind of useless. Now, another option, depending on the items you get, is you could go Spear on Kayle. It's decent. You could also go Gwynsos on Kayle. It's also decent, because she's going to spam ultimates. And that's basically it. I hope you guys can take this build, get a lot of elo, and that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Peace out, boys.